Yeah, one bright day. Good morning. Oh, what a good song. Little Ziggy Marley for the Friday morning. One bright day. It is truly a bright day. Oh, wow. Yes, this week was a lot of rain, and I don't know, maybe it made you go off track with your eating. And listen, this is a response that I really didn't care to see. I want to see A's and B's, not D's and F's. And if your eating habits are off, there's just one thing that you can do different. One thing that you can do different to truly change your eating habits. This is it. I'm going to share with you a little daily dose. It's a bright day, right? All right, there we go. I think I'm in I don't know, maybe because all oak trees and they're filled in, but my signal's here now. All right, so if you're trying to change those eating habits, you want to improve those eating habits, what should you do? Good morning. Let's see if technology is my friend or foe this morning. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe there's one thing. Food is not your friend, and you get in trouble and you go off track, and next thing you know, the weight's not changing and all those types of things. All right, so it's a weekend. And I'm not going to harp on it. Chances are, if you've been watching me any period of time, if you're in your 40s or 50s, you know that's what I do. I help people get them unstuck. And I'm going to just give you a little freebie this morning. I felt like doing a little daily dose. I'm excited. I have there's just a lot to be grateful for. I got up this morning. God gave me another day. I saw a beautiful sunrise. Maybe you check that out. I shared that with you. I couldn't keep that to myself and Owen as we went out for a walk. So if there's just one thing that you can change, it's this. This is so simple. Change one thing. Seriously, I know it sounds too simple. Change one thing. If you want to change your eating habits, there's one thing that you can change. If there's one thing you can change, it's this. Just change one thing. It's really don't make it any more complicated. Okay, for instance, today's Friday, and you have a weekend. And I know nobody wants to think about what happened last weekend because it's in the past. I totally get it. It's in the past. The past is the past. Like maybe the hurricane, you had some storm damage. Maybe you got a lot of rain. Here at our house, we had to pick up some branches and stuff. Really just some wind and rain, right? And now it's sunny days. One bright day. Today's a bright day. And you want to maybe put that behind you, right? Today is Friday. You want to go into the new weekend. Well, maybe just for a moment, literally 2 minutes, think about what happened last weekend and just change one thing this weekend. You see, you can do that. This weekend, you can change one thing. So what is it? Maybe, let's just say maybe late night snacking is your thing, and maybe you watch movies, you hang out, you do some Netflix on the weekend. Totally get that. That's your deal. That's cool. You can totally do that. But if you tend to be a snacker in the evening, maybe that's the one thing is you go to bed early, because when you go to sleep, you're not, unless you're a sleep eater, and I don't know anybody that's sleep eating, right? Maybe that's something new. And let's just say it's the weekend, and maybe you hold off on your alcohol during the week, and now it's the weekend. And maybe the weekend, last weekend, of course it was 4th of July weekend. So maybe, you had a few extra drinks, but maybe that's the one thing that's getting you in the way. Maybe it's the one thing that you need to look at to help. Again, just change one thing. I think the hard thing with a lot of us, and maybe you can agree with me or maybe not, and let me know if you're here. Hey, good morning to Penelope and Lisa. Good morning, Julie. Appreciate you being on here. Thank you so much for checking in. And if there's one thing, now I have a lot of my students, what happens is we change one thing, not just on the weekend, during the day, during the week, we change one thing, maybe start to exercise, maybe start to drink more water, maybe start to track food, maybe start to work on ways to deal with stress. Maybe it's to actually acknowledge yourself in the scale. Maybe it's taking pictures. Maybe it's being more active. Last month we did a 21-day challenge, and the challenge was to move 10,000 steps a day. Again, maybe that's one thing. That's maybe a little more advanced, but that's maybe one thing. Maybe it's just journaling how you feel when you're eating. That's one thing. Maybe it's making sure you have whole, fresh foods in your house instead of packaged garbage and chips and candies and cakes and cookies. That's maybe more than one thing. Maybe it's when you tend to get stressed is to become an emotional eater. Now, there's lots of emotions that cause people to eat, but maybe there's something that you can dial in on, a trigger Maybe you just get frustrated on the weekend, whatever your social circumstances, or maybe your relationship that you're in, and that triggers you to maybe want to drink a little extra or eat a little extra or eat, whatever the heck you want. That could be one thing that you can change. Maybe it's getting up early and getting your exercise in, or instead of blowing it off on the weekend. That's maybe one thing. If you want to change your eating habits, now I did kind of go off more than just eating habits. It could be exercise habits, health habits. Just change one thing. The bottom line is, if you don't change anything, nothing is going to change. If nothing changes, nothing changes. It's really that simple. Now, I say it's simple, it's just not easy. And what I find what happens to people is they fall back into habits that they're comfortable with. Like, if you've been overweight, let's just kind of dispel this as we go into the weekend. If you've been overweight, and it doesn't matter if it's 20 pounds, it can be 5 pounds, 20 pounds. You're probably not thinking about it 5 pounds, but let's just say 20 pounds, 30, 40, 50, maybe 100 pounds. And maybe you've been struggling with that same amount. You're not really struggling, because the struggle is you're comfortable. The habit is that you're comfortable being that weight. So if there's one thing you can change, maybe that could be the trigger, if you will, the positive trigger to start moving it in the right direction. The hard thing is when you get to become 50, 60, 80, 100 or more pounds overweight. And again, this is in no judgment at all. This is just for me to help you, is that you think you have to change so much because you've changed so much maybe over the years. And it's really hard, and it can be frustrating, and it can be stressful, and it can be disappointing, and it can be aggravating. It can just get you just pissed off. And then it can get you feeling defeated, and it can get you feeling like you should just give up on yourself. And I'm here to tell you, don't give up. Like, I've seen too many people that are at that verge of having the breakthrough of their life. And the only thing stopping them from having that breakthrough, and this could be you, is you're not willing to just change one little thing. Because guess what that one thing can do? That one little thing can actually change and can become another little thing and another little thing. And then the next thing you can see is, don't just look at the scale. One thing, and then another thing, and then one more thing. And then that starts to, guess what? It starts to add up. And those little things over time, those little habits over time, they become not big habits, but they actually end up becoming big results. And the big results could be weight loss. The big results could be having more energy, sleeping better, being able to deal with your stress, maybe being able to sleep better, maybe being able to deal with your relationships better. Maybe you have a better work environment, right? Like when you start to dial those in, again, like you think of when you turn on when you have your thermostat, right? You're in your home. You think of like turning on the air conditioner. Here in Florida, we have the AC on now. And the AC, we're changing it up and down. We keep ours around 74, 75. This, for us, actually, because of all the oak trees, it doesn't get too hot in our house, so it's pretty nice. 74, 75. But when we change it, what we do, one at a time, right? It doesn't go from 74 to 80, or if we need it warmer, or 70, want to cool it off, and it go to 64. We change it one degree at a time, right? 74 to maybe 73 to get a little cooler. Now for you, it can be just one small change. Now, what is that change? Maybe today you own the change by going public with it. Drop it down below. What's the one thing? Now I'm going to go ask my students. In fact, when we get off here, I'm going to ask my students, what's the one thing that you're going to do this weekend? So if you're watching and you're in my program, and I'm going to come in, and you're going to have to claim it in our group, in our inner circle. And you see, that's the difference. That's the difference between you trying to maybe go it on your own, doing it alone, versus being in a community and a support. Now, of course, you could be in my free community. You can come on here and Facebook and in my personal page here and connect again. And it's a bit on the light side, right? Like, I hope this was valuable for you to change one thing, right? But imagine this. Imagine if you could be around a supportive environment of people and a community of other people that are moving in the same direction, the same season in your life, or something similar. Or you see somebody a little bit older in a season of life that you're like, I want to be where that person's at. I think of my dad. We just got connected. It made me want to do this live in this daily dose. And my dad I asked him, because he got back in the gym, and you know, I've shared you the story. I brag about his health pursuits. And we'll just keep quiet about my mom's. But my dad's health pursuits, I think I got something here. My dad's health pursuits look like this. You know, he does go to the gym. When COVID happened, the lockdowns, he stopped going to the gym, obviously, as most of you that were going to gyms. Then he got on a bike and he started riding his bike. Now, mind you, he's 78 years old. Just going to just want you to dial in. So if you're anywhere near there, or maybe you're not anywhere near there, just so you know the potential. Today, I asked him, hey, are you hitting the gym today? Well, the last time I went down for Father's Day, we were talking about it, and he decided to get back into the gym, and that's exactly what he did. So no, he's like, no, I did that yesterday, and I did the bike the day before that, and then I hit the gym there, and I'm just like, I get inspired. He's 78, you know, he's 30 years older than me, and he's doing stuff to take care of himself. He's being active. He's being proactive. He's riding on average, maybe not as much because he's going back to the gym, but he works at it. It takes work. If you want to change your eating habits, it's going to take work. The good news is you only have to start by changing one thing at a time. Does that make sense? Does that help? Do you guys understand that? Let's see who else is on here. Chime in. I want to stay on here for a moment or two, and then let's just connect. Debbie, I'm going to be going on. Hey, Alan, good morning to you. Rocking it, Alan. You are kicking butt. Well done this week, by the way, brother. Katie, more water each day. Good stuff. That's it. More water. Now, let me share this with you. It's one of the things that I've shared with my students, and this is at no charge. More water. How much water? Are you not tracking your water? So one of the things you can do, Katie, is to track your water. Well, how much more water? Now, ideally, just here's a little freebie for you. The goal for all of us, this is not something I've made up. This isn't my personal opinion. This is from the best nutrition people in the world, the science, the research. We should be aiming, I say aiming, you're not always going to hit the target, but aiming for about half of our body weight in ounces of water today, a day. So for me, at about 200 pounds, I need to get at least around 100. Now, I know I need to do a little bit more, especially if I'm being a little bit more active. So I'm going to have to probably go in more in the 100 to 130 range of ounces. So for me, I have big water bottles. I know I drink more water when I have a big water bottle in front of me. It's just, I don't know what it is, mindset. You have little glasses of water, those little cups of those little plastic bottles of water, you have to drink like 100 of those a day, right? It's not even worth it. Just get yourself a big water bottle. You don't have to do the jugs like the jug heads at the gym do, but I would say you can take a water bottle and you can take it around with you, keep it in your car, and drink more water. That's going to help. Not only it's going to be good for you, it's going to be good for your digestion. It's going to also be good for your appetite, because a lot of times when people are hungry, a lot of times it's really that they're thirsty, but because they're parched, they tend to go for food because that's what the habit is. And next thing you know, you get in trouble, you take more calories, you don't get enough water, and then that can be a downward turn. So that was just a little side note for you. Hey, listen, at 9 o'clock, I got a team meeting at 8:30, and at 9 o'clock, I'm going in the Bulletproof Fit Christians Over 40 Facebook group. I'm going to be answering questions in there live. Join me in there live. I'm going to try to do it from my computer. I may even invite people to come on live and literally answer some of the questions for them live inside. Now, you got to be inside my free Facebook group. If you don't know or haven't heard about it yet, jump over there and just ask. You can just search it up. It's called Bulletproof Fit Christians Over 40. There's only one of those. So Bulletproof Fit, I know it's a mouthful, Bulletproof Fit Christians Over 40. Go join us. I did a master class this past week. It was awesome. Also, if you have not heard, maybe you're just coming on, maybe you've been hunkered down the last couple days, is I have a brand new program that I'm doing. It's a contest, a 12-week contest. It's a summer slim down. This could be exactly it. This could be the next step for you. Maybe you're drinking enough water, but you're not seeing the results. Well, maybe you need to be in a program or even a contest. Well, a contest, tell me more. Well, not only is it a 12-week transformation contest, but I'm actually fronting and giving away 10,000. Hear me out here. This is no joke. This is no scam. This is no, people tell me, Mark, are you a scammer? I don't know you, because I'm not like a big name or anything. It's not a Facebook scam. I've been fortunate, been blessed to have a great business. I have a lot of amazing students that have trusted in me, invested in me, and I'm able to give back. And I'm doing this with this 12-week transformation contest. I'm giving away $10,000 in cash and prizes. Yep. Last year, I was only able to do about 1,000. We did a free contest. Now, this contest is not free, but it could potentially be free when you think of the value and how much money you could potentially be saving, especially if you get in great shape in the next 12 weeks and you can actually win $10,000 in cash and prizes. So if you want more information, you can send me a private message if you want. If you want to get in our group on at 9 o'clock just to join me live and have your questions answered, any questions you have, health and fitness related, weight loss related, I don't have all the answers. I'll be the first to say I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of them. I have close to 30 years of experience. And why not pick somebody's brain? Why bother Google searching when you don't know who to trust out there? You don't know who's trying to just sell you or is trying to have you to buy some shake, or I got none of that to sell you. I don't have supplements, maybe not yet. Supplements or shakes or bars or pills or potions or formula or magic wands. I don't have any of that stuff, but for the right person, I do have a solution. And maybe even the next step for you is just to simply come in, join us in the group, learn more about me, learn more about how I help people, and then we'll take it from there. Sound good? Talk to you later. I got to jump in. I got to get into my team meeting this morning. Have a good one. And again, if I don't hear from you, see you, have a blessed weekend. Take care.